Trump, Greenland, AI, and the dollar walk into a bar. And somehow your 401k is the punchline. No, really. Trump is starting to taco, there's a standoff over Greenland, and the stock market is quietly taking notes. Let's talk about what this actually means for your money. Welcome back to the comments section with Thomas Paul, where we read the headlines, roll our eyes, and then ask, okay, but how does this hit my portfolio? So, what does Trump is starting to taco even mean? It's basically this. Trump is shifting from pure chaos mode to a more tactical, aggressive, calculated offensive. Still Trump, still loud, but with a bit more strategy behind the noise. Now mix that with a geopolitical standoff around Greenland. Not the "can we buy it" meme from a few years ago. The serious version, Arctic resources, shipping routes, military positioning, and the battle for who controls the cold, hard future of energy and data. Here's where things get interesting. If you're a retail investor or just someone who doesn't want their savings wrecked by some press conference, this matters. Because markets don't care about vibes. They care about power, resources, and who controls the pipes of the future: oil pipes, data pipes, and money pipes. Let's pull out the key takeaways from what's happening right now. First, Trump dialing back direct war talk with Iran is giving markets a short-term sugar high. You see it in stocks rebounding anytime the tone softens. Markets don't need peace. They just need predictability. When Trump steps back from World War III by Tuesday, you get relief rallies. Second, this taco shift means he's aiming his firepower more at economic levers than just military ones. Think tariffs, sanctions, currency pressure, and trade bloc threats. That is way more dangerous to your portfolio than one scary headline because it seeps into earnings, debt, and long-term growth. But it's even getting worse. Third, Greenland and the Arctic are not some side quest. They are about three big things: energy, shipping lanes, and data infrastructure. Melting ice opens up shorter trade routes between major economies. Whoever controls that controls costs. Whoever controls energy there controls bargaining power. And whoever controls the cables and satellites routing through that region controls a giant slice of future AI and internet capacity. So when you hear Greenland standoff, read future tax on global trade, future energy chessboard, and future AI backbone. That's why big powers care, and that's why markets will start to price it in. And here's where things take a step further. Let's break down what this means for stocks, the dollar, and AI from here. On stocks, you're probably going to see more short, violent moves, both up and down. Anytime there's a new statement, threat, or clarification from Trump or any other world leader tied into this mess. Defense, energy, shipping, and AI infrastructure names get put on a political roller coaster. Long-term, big players love this volatility. They buy fear and sell relief. Retail gets whipsawed if they chase every mood swing. On the dollar, if the U.S. keeps using sanctions and dollar access as a weapon, more countries look for workarounds. Not because they hate the dollar, but because no one wants a single point of failure deciding whether your entire banking system works on Monday morning. Over time, that chips away at the "dollar is king forever" story. But then the unbelievable thing happened. AI is the quiet piece in the background. We talk about AI like it's just chatbots and stock-picking tools, but under that, it's data centers, chips, fiber, satellites, and massive energy demand. The Greenland and Arctic region connects all three: space for data and military bases, proximity for undersea cables, and physical control over future energy and shipping routes that feed those systems. So when you see a political shouting match over some icy rock on a map, understand, that's not about national pride. That's about who gets paid for the next 30 years of AI, trade, and energy. Quick pause. If you're watching this thinking, I'd love to run a channel breaking this stuff down, but I don't want to be on camera. This video was created with Fludge.io, the same system that powers this entire channel. It researches topics, writes the script, builds the avatar, and posts to YouTube. You stay in control, you can jump in at any step, and it learns from your feedback over time. So if you want to build a faceless channel without turning it into low-effort AI spam, check out Fludge.io. Link below. All right, back to the standoff. But then he said this unbelievable thing. Here's what you should watch next if you care about markets and not just memes. First, watch the tone, not just the headlines. When Trump dials down war talk, stocks rip. When he escalates with tariffs, trade threats, or sanctions, watch industrials, energy, and exporters get nervous. If you're a long-term investor, this is noise, but it's noisy enough to give you entry points if you stay calm. Second, track how often Arctic, Greenland, shipping routes, and critical minerals show up in official statements. When the boring words get repeated, that's your tell that this has moved from sideshow to main stage. Boring words run the world. Learned that when I worked at a local paper in college. Same story, two different headlines, totally different reaction. The framing is the message. Here's where things get interesting. Third, keep an eye on AI infrastructure plays, not the shiny, we're the next big AI app nonsense. I'm talking the boring stuff. Data centers, chip manufacturing, energy providers, satellite and fiber players. Every time the US, Europe, China, or anyone else makes a move in the Arctic or Greenland, ask, does this help or hurt their leverage over AI infrastructure? Fourth, look at how allies react. If you see more talk of alternative payment systems, more bilateral trade in other currencies, or more investment into non-dollar finance rails, that's a slow, quiet warning shot for the dollar's long-term dominance. Not end of the dollar, but less free lunch. When I was 12, my parents lost a big chunk of their savings because they trusted a bank advisor who sounded confident. No drama, no explosion, just slowly missing money and very quiet dinners. That's what this stuff is like. It doesn't blow up your account overnight. It just slowly changes the rules while you're distracted by the loudest voice on TV. But it's even getting worse. In my 30s, I went boring on purpose with my own investments while everyone else chased hype. It wasn't sexy, but it worked. Very slowly. That's the same mindset I bring to stories like this. You don't win by guessing tomorrow's headline. You win by understanding the game board and not getting seduced by the loudest player. So what does Trump starting to taco and this Greenland standoff mean for you? It means more volatility around defense, energy, shipping, and AI-linked infrastructure. It means the dollar stays strong, but with more people quietly building backups. It means AI's future is going to be shaped not just by engineers, but by who controls geography, minerals, and sea lanes. And here's where things take a step further. For you as a retail investor or just someone trying not to get blindsided, the move is simple. Zoom out. Look for durable trends, energy transition, AI infrastructure, trade routes shifting north, and stop betting your sanity on whatever got said on a podium today. Disclaimer before we wrap, nothing in this video is financial, legal, or investment advice. I don't know your situation, your risk tolerance, or your time horizon. This is information and opinion, not a personalized plan. Do your own research and talk to a qualified professional before making big decisions with your money. Now I want to hear from you. Does this whole Greenland and taco situation make you more bullish, more defensive, or just more tired? Drop your take in the comments. I read as many as I can. If you found this breakdown useful, hit like, smash subscribe, and share this with that one friend who still thinks Greenland is just about ice. This is the comment section with Thomas Paul. Less hype, more signal. See you in the next one.